So tomorrow is actually a new moon, and I was reading the Power Path School of Shamanism article on the new moon for tomorrow, and one thing that stood out to me was Lena had written that this is a good time to release any attachment to suffering that may still be clinging to you from the past. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to read it again. Release any attachment to suffering that may still be clinging to you from the past. And that was the intent for the classes I taught this morning. I'm just going to share with you. That was our intention for the first couple of classes, and so that was, in my energy field and obviously in my heart space. And I went out for a bike ride after I had taught, so I had a few hours between then and then I had a meeting. And I got done with my ride, and it's like, oh, I love riding my bike, and I was finishing up my ride thinking, oh, I'm going to email this person when I get back, and then this person, I want to make sure I do this. And, I got home and I was just thinking, I just always feel so good. I was like, why don't I do this in the morning like I used to? Because I don't teach till 11. And I used to do it before work when I had to be at work at, 8:45, 9. Like, why don't I do this first thing in the morning? I have plenty of time. I don't work till 11. And the answer that came right up was, because if anything happens on your ride, you don't want to not be able to show up. Because there was that one morning when I was out on my bike and I didn't make it to work, and my best friend was at my bedside. I'm intubated, tubed down my throat in the intensive care unit, and she was trying to figure out how to call my work for me because I was on the letter card, call my work, da da da. But that was something that I always knew that I preferred to ride kind of after, things had been done. And I wouldn't even say that I was suffering for it, but this was this unconscious, pattern, this unconscious thought that was kind of guiding when I would do my favorite activity. Yeah. And so I just invite us to be in this space because it's really powerful. And, it might bubble up in 2 weeks. It might not bubble up. We might not ever notice it bubble up. But we can create the space for it too. And so let's sit and feel our breath and feel these powerful words in our space. And a mudra that we could do is our Kali mudra, which we make our hands in prayer, but fold them together except that index and thumb. And we can hold it at our heart if we want. Or if you don't want to do the mudra, just leave your hands open or down. But this supports release. So release any attachment to suffering that may still be clinging to you from the past. Something that's conscious or unconscious that might guide our decisions. Just bringing awareness to that. I might still ride my bike in the afternoon, but maybe I have a little bit more understanding why. Let's inhale and exhale, noticing how the body responds to the breath. Do you feel the breath in the joints, in the soft tissue, maybe in the heart space, the stomach? And we'll breathe in. And exhale. Let it go. You're welcome to stay here for as many breaths as you feel you might want to rest in. However, if you're ready, bring your legs out in front. We're going to come into our caterpillar so we can fold forward, letting the feet fall out or fall in. Maybe noticing sensation in the back of the legs. Maybe we notice it on the back. Let the chin come to the chest. And some variations, we can bring a blanket roll underneath our knees. And if we do that, we might notice it in the back a little more, or maybe in the legs a little more. Another option is to sit on a blanket, just to lift the hips a little bit. And then we might really notice it in the back more. So finding maybe where you want to feel it, offering some props to maybe open the backs of the legs or the thoracolumbar spine. Maybe finding that mudra with the hands, with the index and thumb not folded, and the other fingers folded in. Breathing in through the nose. And then the exhale just a little bit longer. Our forward fold and then our long exhale signal to the body that we're in a space where we can relax. And this mudra also brings our awareness energetically to the neck and the throat. So maybe notice those areas of the body relaxing. Relax the eyes and the cheeks and the lower jaw. As we surrender in our caterpillar. The new moon tomorrow supporting our yin yoga tonight. And this energy and space of release. Any time we feel like we need to sigh or exhale, let that be so. And sometimes I even like to come up out of the shape and then make my way back into it and notice if maybe there's a different experience. Some might say you can go deeper in the pose, and I just want to say, deeper isn't always better, or more isn't always better. And we might notice as a little more release. We come out and then we lean back into the shape. Release any attachment to suffering that may still be clinging to you from the past. It might not be something that is a torturous suffer, but maybe it's a belief system or pattern of behavior or thought that we notice we kind of get rutted into. Now let's exhale, maybe through the mouth, let it all go. Another deep inhale. And exhale. After your next exhale, just making your way to your back so we can come into that rebound, that space that allows us to really absorb the shape by letting that chi move freely after we compress or tense the body. Coming onto the back. And letting that chi go where it needs to go. Another breath in and out. Now we can roll over to our side. And if you have a wall or a bed handy or a chair or something that you can bring your legs up onto, we're going to do our legs up the wall. So they can be straight up on a wall if that feels good. And then if you don't have a wall or a couch or a bed that you can bring your legs onto, then just stack your bolster onto some blocks, and that can work as a shelf. But this legs up the wall, you have a wall handy. It's a really great spot. So you can make a bench for the legs or bring those legs up the wall. And feel the chi moving in the body. And close the eyes and soften the face. Maybe place the hands, palms up, maybe palms down. Just draw in that moon energy into the soles of the feet. Let it fill your entire being. Let the tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Maybe noticing if you have a little bit of energy current in the body, do you feel your energy maybe moving back and forth or side to side? Maybe it's like a wave. Maybe it's really still. Bringing our awareness inward. Knowing that there's nothing that we need to do, that we're already here. And the shape that we're in is doing the work. We just rest and relax and surrender to the effects that we can't even see. Sometimes we feel them physically in the body, but there's also some effects that are not seen. And so in that way, our yoga practice is an act of faith. Faith in the unseen, and the effects of the unseen. And now, rather than going into our rebound right away, we're going to come into another pose here on the wall. And if you don't have a wall, I'm going to show a modification. So that left foot, just bring that left foot to the ground so that it's kind of, the foot is kind of below the knee. And then bring that right ankle to the top of that left leg so it's like a figure four. And then just arrange that left foot wherever the position feels, where you can kind of start to feel a stretch on the outer right hip. So maybe you scoot a little closer to the wall if you need to. And you really bring that foot kind of down, that left foot down on the wall so it's not below the knee. And that right ankle still rests on that leg. And depending on kind of where that foot is on the wall and how close you are to the wall is going to change the stretch on the leg. Now, if you don't have a wall, then I'm going to show you where you can go with this. And one option is to just come to your back and do that on your back. But let the hands just rest on the leg. We're not going to pull. We're just going to rest and just let the gravity of the hands, the weight of the hands and the gravity pull. And if that still doesn't affect that outer right hip, there are other options. That left leg out, right foot in, and we can kind of lean or move that foot over. So find what works for you. Along the outer edge of that hip is that gallbladder meridian, and that supports decision making, which energetically might help us with this release if we're subconsciously kind of filing through what we can let go that might be clinging to us. This gallbladder meridian might support that decision process unconsciously. So relaxing the breath so the back of the body can rest and the front of the body is loose. Sometimes we tend to hold things in our chest. So with our back on the ground, let go into the earth. And if your mind is wandering at all, sometimes our mantra helps. So maybe just saying to yourself, letting go, letting go. Scan the body. Maybe scan the left leg, scan the right leg, and then scan the back and the shoulders, the arms and hands. And now begin to slide maybe that left leg up the wall so you can lift that right leg off of the left. And now just bring the feet to rest on the wall. And if you're on your back in figure 4, let your legs be flat on the ground, coming into a rebound on the floor. If you're on the wall, let the legs rebound against the wall. So whichever variation you are in, finding a rebound of your choice. As we straighten our legs that were bent, we might notice the energy kind of profoundly. Now, when you're ready, you're welcome to stay in your rebound for as long as you like. But when you're ready, just bring yourself into the other side. So if you were in your back before, not against the wall, maybe try it against the wall. If you're on the wall, you can stay there or maybe come away from the wall. But the right foot comes to the wall and the left ankle comes just below the knee on the top of the leg. And adjust the distance towards the wall, adjust the foot on the wall. And if you're away from the wall, do the same thing. Let the hands rest on the shin. And then that other variation, you can try to bring the leg out. Maybe you could cross or out in front. Relax those shoulder blades into the ground if you're on your back. Relax the breath in the body. Maybe noticing where you feel this shape in the body. And rest in the faith of this practice, that it's supportive to that area where you feel the sensation. On a mental level, on an emotional level, a spiritual level, physical level, and on the level that we can't even understand. There's no words for those effects. One thing about when we do practices with an intention, we can expect and we can be ready for the fruits of that. We don't do our practice for that reason, but we can trust and we can know that there are fruits of our practice. So we can open that heart space and that head space to embrace and welcome those fruits, not attaching to them, but knowing that if we have that intention and we have that attention to it, even if it's for just the beginning of class or for an hour on a Thursday night, that attention to the intention is really powerful. Sometimes I say, let it be so, or amen to myself after I say an intention, just to add a little bit of oomph or power behind it. So maybe this last breath in this shape, we can just say, let it be so, or amen, that the fruits of this shape and the effects of this shape will be blessings to us. So let's come out of this shape, maybe by sliding the leg up the wall or lifting that foot off of the leg. And let's all come to our backs, whether we're against the wall or already on the ground. We're going to rebound onto our backs this time. To feel the entire body in a single plane. And just be that chi in your body, be that energy. So maybe you're ready for Shavasana now. We still have quite a bit of class left, but maybe this just feels really good. So if you want to stay in your rebound in Shavasana now, you can. We have about 25 more minutes of class. But just know that if that ever feels really nice, you can stay there. If you want to move into our next Yin Yoga shape, we're going to come into a supported bridge. And we have options for that. So you can bring your feet to the ground and a block underneath the sacrum. So the bottom of that block is just above kind of that crease between those bones. And you can extend the legs long. So we're going to notice a little compression on the low back. Now, if you're in your supported bridge, you can bring the arms above the head, opening up those lung and heart meridians that run along the arms. So you can stay like this. We'll be here for about 3 minutes. The other option is to come into your Sphinx. So it's compression on the low back, lower on our stomachs. You can either come into your seal, which our arms are stacked, so shoulders kind of stacked over elbows over wrists. That's a deeper back bend. Or you can come down onto your forearms. But wherever you do, find yourself, rest in some mindfulness. One of the physical benefits of our yin yoga is that it actually can increase bone density. So it's really supportive for us women who need a little bit of help with that bone density factor. We're not getting any younger. Not even as Sagittarians. Wherever you are, whether it's a supported bridge or a seal, maybe feel some lightness in the heart. Maybe some fluffiness in the heart. If you're in your bridge, let that heart sink into the back body. If you're in your seal, your Sphinx, just let it expand to the front, the back, and the sides. About 30 more seconds. Now scanning the body through this shape that we're in. And then we'll exhale. You're in Sphinx or seal, lowering down. If you're in your supported bridge, bring your feet to the ground, knees to the sky, lift those hips up, slide the block out from underneath, and then lower down onto your backs. Always an option when you get to your back to hug those knees into the chest. That might feel really nice before finding your rebound. And maybe you want to rebound in this shape with the knees into the chest. Allowing that chi to settle, like when we shake up that snow globe and the glitter, the snow flurries and flutters around. Let that chi flurry and flutter and land precisely where our body needs it to be. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. Now let's hug our knees into our chest. And then find the outside of the feet, or maybe rest the hands behind the knees, behind the hamstrings, and come into a variation of happy baby. So if your hands are on your feet, we're not going to pull on the feet because that's active. We're just going to let the hands rest. And then again, the weight of the elbows, the shoulders, the hands, and gravity is going to be what kind of draws those knees down. If this is a little too active for you with those hands on the feet, then just bring the hands together. You kind of fold the hands together and just rest them kind of behind the legs, behind the knees. And those feet can just kind of flop. And then let yourself be. Are you able to rest, not just right now, but during the day? Are you able to cultivate balance and harmony in your energy throughout the day? Your mental energy, your physical energy, and your emotional energy. Cultivating balance so our systems can be in harmony. Now let's exhale, bend the knees in, and the feet come in, and let's find our rebound, legs going long. Letting the feet fall in or fall out if that's natural, just finding your natural resting position on the back. Allowing the cheeks to relax, the chin, and the eyes to relax. And now gently coming out of our rebound and moving our entire body over to one side of the mat. So maybe moving it over to the right side of the mat, the feet, the hips, the shoulders on the right side of the mat. We're going to come into a nice supportive crescent moon or banana shape to give a little bit of flexion for the spine. So bring the feet over to the corner of the left corner of the mat. The arms come up and maybe even move the shoulders towards the middle and the hands reach for the left corner of the mat up above. Maybe the right foot stacks on top of the left. Maybe starting to feel on the side body. Maybe that left hand finds the right wrist. And then resting the head in whatever position is comfortable. And if this doesn't feel good on your back, then find your bolster or your pillow and just place it under the right or the left side body. And just kind of beach body. You're just laying on your side on the beach, watching the ocean or the waves. Just gonna lie down. Let that gravity open up the side of the body. So whatever feels right for you. Maybe noticing how the breath fills the lungs in the side body opener. Each shape winding us down more and more. And your next exhale, if you're on your back, just bring the feet and the arms back to the right side of the mat. Pause in your rebound. If you're on your side, slide that bolster out from under it. Come onto the back. And let that spine come to its natural shape after this side bend. Feel that chi moving, especially past those vertebrae that we just squished and opened. And then making your way to the left side of your mat. And you get to that left side, bring the feet and ankles over to the right side, arms and wrists over to the top right side. So that's an option. The other option would be that bolster underneath the opposite side body as before. Just folding over. Release any attachment to suffering that may still be clinging to you from the past. Giving that suffering or that belief permission. Thanking it maybe for the lesson and telling it that it could move on. Sometimes some clues to patterns or beliefs or habits are always or never statements. I always get sick this time of year. I never catch a break. Things like that. So maybe exploring with curiosity and without judgment if we have any of those types of statements in our lives. So we can just let go of this new moon tomorrow here to support us. Let's scan our body from the palms of the hands down to the feet. If you're on your back, bringing everything to one side, neutralizing the spine so it's natural state. You're on your side body, moving that bolster out of the way, bringing your back flat on the ground. And then when you're ready, finding Shavasana. Offering any movements or shapes before Shavasana. And then ultimately resting in Shavasana. Bringing your awareness to your right hand. Relaxing the palm of the right hand. And the fingers. And then the elbows and the shoulders. And the toes of the right foot and sole of the right foot. Knees and the right hip. The entire right side of the body, allow it to relax. The right shoulder blade sinks into the floor. Then the left shoulder blade sinks into the floor. And the left elbow, the left wrist, the left hand, the left fingers relax and soften. Relax the toes on the left foot, the left sole of the foot, the entire left leg, all the way to the left hip. Feel your entire back sink into the floor. The calves, the hamstrings, the fronts of the legs, relax. The chest, the stomach. The throat and the neck. Now relax your eyes, your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw. Relax. Relax into trust and relax into your intention and let it be so. Now bringing your awareness to the breath, noticing the rise and fall of the chest. You may be opening and closing the palms of the hands. Let's breathe in for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 6. Breathe in for 4. Exhale for 6. Breathe in for 4. Out for 6. And now breathe in for 4. Pause at the top. And now exhale. In for 4. Pause, exhale for 6. Inhale again. Pause and exhale. And now let go of any effort with the breath. And then slowly roll over to one side as we begin to transition to a seated position. Maybe finding Kali Mudra one last time. Index and thumb out. Bring it to our heart space. And let it be so. Inhale. Om Shanti. 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 Om